See, I'm leaning in to start my video just like all the big YouTubers. It's so cool. It's like when you look the best is when you're leaning in, right? Like Annie Elise and what is her name? Kendall Ray, Mile Higher. When she does her Kendall Ray, she leans in all the time. My name is Marie. I am in Miami. I have a degree in literature and journalism. It's a magna cum laude. So it was with honors, scholarships, etc. And I have a minor in business. Did I already say that? I am not being authentic right now. I'm even scratching. It's just not cool. I'm not going to keep doing takes. I'm not going to try to get this right. I'm going to break all the rules because there's no other way. And it's, when they say people are being authentic today, what does that mean? Authentically Botox? Not. Authentic as in being able to articulate things in a way that it's being said right now. So it's like a way of speaking, right? I'll put my chair so you can see both candles. That is the Florida coastal hammock behind me, and I actually happen to be wearing the coastal hammock. I've been in the art business for a long time, so we're going to talk about a lot of things. But first of all, as I said, I live in Miami. I have my eye on Palm Springs. I grew up in Southern California, and I love it there. It's just the opposite of Florida. So, have you ever been to Miami? Probably have. Oh, I've been to Orlando. It's not the same. Have you been to Miami proper recently? It's just boom town. It's got so much going on. Construction, skyscrapers. It's still, I see other cities like on YouTube travel channels, and I don't think that Miami is, it's impressive, I guess, the downtown and some of the areas, but it is a flat land, okay? There's no scenery. It's all in here. Well, that's the Florida coastal hammock. Would I be contradicting myself? No, it's a subtle beauty. Those are Florida orchids. They were plowed through by Henry Flagler Railroad back in the 1920s, turn of the century. They brought a railroad down the previous century. We're in 2000. Hello, we've been 25 years into 2000. Oh my goodness. Am I being dramatic? Not enough. Come on, people now. So, Florida, it's a swamp. And you know you've heard that before, and there are mosquitoes. It's true. It's all true. It's flat. There's no scenery. It's all in here. That's why there's so much clubbing, so much human I did not say that. That's why there's condos, high life, clubs, bars, people up all night. You could be up all night because there's not that much to do in the day. There is stuff to do in the day. You can go out on your boat. You can go to the beach. You can go out on the sand. You can go out on somebody's boat. You can leave the harbor and go in a big cruise ship. You know, it's personally, Florida is a state of mind. Miami is definitely an energy thing. There's energy here. I will say, like if you just travel a few miles outside of our county, so there's parishes in New Orleans and stuff like that, and we have counties as in most of the United States. Once you leave Miami-Dade County, the energy changes, and we don't tell that to our friends who live north and south of us. Did you know that we have 3 climates? So above like Orlando latitude, it's pretty much the South, okay? It's just Alabama, Louisiana, North Carolina, stuff like that, Georgia. That's the South, right? I'm not teaching anything, but I'm gonna teach you something next, because from there to the Keys, to the upper part of the very top of the Keys, we are subtropical. Oh, you already knew that? Okay, so now you know that it's true because I live here. Subtropics, and then the Keys are actually the tropics. Have you noticed how hurricanes go to North and South Carolina and even into New Jersey? I say if you're going to be in hurricane country, at least have some palm trees and lots of blue skies. There's got to be an exchange here. We're going to get blown over eventually, and not to be, it's just a matter of, it's like we are a dart game. The hurricanes form and they just, Hurricane Andrew in 1992 was literally, it just bullseyed us, just came across. We had a high pressure system that it was coming across, and because of the rotation of the earth, they tend to curve up. If you've seen this last hurricane season, they tend to curve up. Back in 1992, there was a high pressure up here, so with the natural rotation of the earth and the currents of the earth, I'm not a meteorologist, I think you can tell, but anyway, I like to be redundant. It curves up. This year, that high pressure was like a bowling out, like it was just at the top, keeping it, coming in, boom! Bullseye at the very last minute. It deviated, it went south, just that tiny bit, and decimated Homestead area, Cutler Ridge area, and the little bit of the heat was taken off. My father is a civil engineer. And I said, Dad, what's going on? It's coming at 140 miles an hour. Well, I don't know what to tell you. The South Florida building codes are to 130. They're built to withstand 130 mile an hour winds. Don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. And it happened, and it was just, something I learned, which is so strange, is being in Florida. When we went to do inspections, and Father's a civil engineer, we got so busy, we went to the south and did inspections, roof inspections, structural inspections, lots of insurance money. People had money to pay for these things, and they had to because so much was destroyed. Miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of destruction, like matchsticks. Like a bomb. It's a cliche, but it's true. And once that started going, never realized how south everything went. Florida was so big, that whole Cutler Ridge, Homestead area, I don't know, I was always thinking Kendall, West Kendall to Chrome Avenue. You can Google all this stuff later. Anyway, I'm in the Miami area. And it's definitely the place to be for the arts, for culture. It's become that. It was not that when I got here from Southern California. As a child, this was a wasteland. There was nothing. It was as flat as the earth is here. And I'm not talking about flat earth as in flat earth. Like life matters. Life matters. Life matters. How you emphasize it. So, bottom line is, this is basically a swampland. Do I have any mosquito bites? Do I have any? No, because once you've been here a number of years, you're immune to the mosquitoes. At least I have become immune. I feel like I am indigenous now. Like I am a Miccosukee or a Seminole, in the sense that I have built the immune system to the mosquito irritant. I asked my uncle, why is it that some people really get welts and other people, I said, why do some people get stung by mosquitoes, bit by mosquitoes, and some people don't? Because everybody gets bit by mosquitoes, it's how you react to it. Right now I can get bit by mosquitoes. The Everglade ones are a little bit different, but the ones in the city, I'm accustomed to them, so I don't get welts and I don't even itch. I can get bit and I don't even really feel it. Like, I still have my younger sister who's still very sensitive to mosquitoes. I am not. And a lot of people that I know are not. It's just what you build up. Also, it takes about 20 years to stop sweating. Like your body just acclimates. But it takes, I would say I kid you not, about 20 years. So when the tourists come to town and they're all sweaty, they have a little moustache, a little sweat in the brow, their hair is stuck, it sticks to their side, especially if their hair is a little thin, it's all gooey and sweaty. They look very uncomfortable. I say, well, you're not going to acclimate. And how many days are you going to be here? Remember, I'm in galleries and business and stuff and shops. the art business, and I say, no, you're not going to get used to it in 4 days. It's going to take you about 20 years to stop sweating, so don't even bother. We shower twice a day. Does it make sense? It does. You rinse off in the morning, and you've been out all day. It's muggy, it's sweaty, it's hot, it's sweaty. Your car, you know, the whole thing of like your hands burn, the whole thing if your car's not parked in the shade. And then you have to rinse off at night because you have a film. So we do shower twice a day. You don't have to do hot water. You can't steam it. They say it's very bad for you, but you do rinse off. Do a little soap here or there and go to bed fresh in your sheets with your air conditioner humming, because you have to have it, and the air conditioners can work so hard and they just don't cool off. You know why? Because your house, I know you guys have summers, and I'm not saying anything so like insightful or anything, but my house gets hot. It's like hot box. The walls get hot, the floor gets hot, the crawl space is hot, the ceiling's hot. So your air conditioner's trying to cool the room, not just the air, and it cannot. It is not possible. Now that we're in November, click on the AC, it cools everything down because the ambient temperature and the differential. It's basically like having a deep freezer in a garage in Arizona. Your house is immersed like in a garage in Arizona. I know that's dry, but you know what I'm saying, that heat. And then your home is like a deep freezer. You're trying, the differential is huge. The moisture that has to be sucked out of your air conditioner, they drip and drip. So if you live in dry climates, look, we don't need saunas. We live in sauna. You go to Europe, it's a sauna. Go to Austria, it's a sauna. Here, no, of course not. You don't need it. So what is our point? Our point is that this is my channel. I have no followers right now. I have no listeners. I have no likes. I have nothing. This is completely delusional. But we're going to talk about some things. Let's grab the phone. Let's see the algorithms that I have. So, you know, I do sleep with YouTube on. Do you sleep with YouTube? Let's see what comes up. Oh, do you like, Captain Steve. He is so good. Captain Steve, he does it with an S-T-E-E-E-E, I think V-E or something like that. Yeah, Captain Steve. Here he is. Oh my God, my battery. Does that suck? Anyway, I didn't say that. I don't use battery. Okay, he's cool. He's a real captain. Do you love people that are experts in what they do? And now they have a platform to talk. Have you ever seen Hal, as in Sharks Happen, led by Hal? Hal is like this boating guy. He's not a yachting guy. That's very different. They're like kind of like Posh Spice. He's a boating guy. So he wears a lot of like loosey-goosey rash guards and has like, you know, a shark fin or a sailfish on his logo. Sharks Happen. Hal. He loves to have maps behind him, and he'll chronicle shark attacks all around the world. You could be listening to him and he will randomly take you to Cape, South Africa, Cape Town Beach, 1952, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And he'll go through this whole shark attack. And it's terrifying. One good thing about Florida is that the sharks are smaller, so they won't necessarily drag you out to the depths and disappear you, where they only find like a fin or a snorkel or part of your wetsuit or your surfboard with a big chunk missing. Here you will have a big chunk missing from your leg or your arm. You can bleed out, you can die. But it's very different because the sharks here are a bit smaller. So we know it's the bull sharks and the great white sharks, which have been spotted running around in different oceans than they normally do because everything is so... We'll talk about that another time. So, Captain Steve, Brian Enton, he's good. Remember him? He's the one that does all the crime stuff with Ashley Banfield and Nancy Grace. He has spun off to his own YouTube. He's great. He already has. I'm not jealous. I'm not. In 2 months, he says he has garnered over 250,000 followers, and he's always traveling, and he walks and he sits in his car and he talks on locations. People love that. They love that. He's very good. He's just thorough. He has empathy. He's good. Who else is on my YouTube? Oh, Maureen Callahan, The Nerve. She's great. She's such a chutzpah New Yorker. She does not have a New York accent. Have you heard her? She says she has so much stuff for us today. I don't have anything for us today because I don't need to. I have no followers. I have no listeners. I have nobody. She's another one within like a few months. She's cool. Well, okay. She's cool in the sense it's that she really lives up to the name of her channel. It's The Nerve. So she has the nerve, and she's saying things that people don't want to say. She's calling out certain things. You know, she'll call out like, Meghan Markle, from the Harry, H, the wife of H. She will call out Oprah Winfrey. She will call out Gwyneth Paltrow. So she treads where like people have not dared. They're kind of like sacred cultural cows with Botox and bovine collagen infusions. But she will call out, like right now, this one is Kim Kardashian's Rotten Review, The Morning Show, Hate Watch, and The Golden Bachelor's, like she will really let people have it. Golden Bachelor's Creeper Vibes, yeah. Oh my God, The Golden Bachelor. He actually wrote, that man had those daughters and he's a widower. They try to get somebody who's not a divorced person, but like a widower, so you feel sorry for him. And now he wrote a tell-all book about the lady that he married. She is freaked out. She's like this very suave, gentle, competitive, I'm sure, to get on the show. And so she's something else, but she met her match. Boy, he married her, and he got really weird. So we know he's... Do you love all the like amateur psychology diagnosing that we have today? Because it takes psychiatrists and psychologists years of studying you and your behaviors to determine if you're a borderline personality disorder, if you're a Machiavellian narcissist, if you're a victim narcissist, if you are a manic depressive. Schizophrenia is the easy one because you are psychotic, and that's kind of easy to tell. I'm very good at having conversations with schizophrenics. Can you tell? No, but seriously. Okay, so he's not, I do not digress, but since The Nerve just talked about that he's creeper vibes, he is, I knew he was, okay, come on. These people just fall into line auditioning for these reality shows to get out there and do stuff and be known and be loved and blah, 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 blah. But, you hit, well, anyway, bottom line, that's the kind of stuff. She kind of talks about, like, sacred cows. Joe Rogan. Though Joe Rogan was on to him, like, 6 years ago. I kept telling my gallery husband, have you seen Joe Rogan? Never heard of him. These are all niche things, though. Even though Joe Rogan he's kind of busted through the mainstream because of the Donald Trump situation and his endorsement, and he's popped that blister bubble, and it hurts. He doesn't care. He's laughing all the way to his Wells Fargo with his direct deposits from Spotify that signed him to $100 million deal when he said, I just started this back in the day with my friends just to sit around and shoot the hoops. and just talk, and it became this thing. But he did another one. He did that show, you know, the one of where they scare you the heck out of you. Anyway, Joe Rogan. Of course, he comes up on my feed. I don't always listen to him. He has definitely full-on masculine energy. It's hard for him, I see, to even talk to women because he's so masculine. His testosterone gets kind of aroused, I've noticed. Really good with the guys. He's a guy's guy. He's a guy's guy. He's good, of course. He's great. He has conversations. He walks certain lines. He's a lot smarter than he seems. And a different type of smarts and conversation that's very fresh. At least it was, because nobody could do it, because nobody had hours and hours and hours to sit across from a table and talk to somebody, right? Who else comes up on my algorithm? True Crime Unsolved. These are getting more and more difficult to watch. Captain Steve's coming up again because of that horrible UPS crash. Oh my goodness. In Kentucky, had like 38,000 gallons of gasoline. Some footage, because there's cameras everywhere, even inside your mouth and in your toilet. You know, Kohler Toilets wants to put a camera in your toilet so they can analyze your stuff to tell you if you're going to need a colonoscopy or take some antibiotics for that bladder infection. They do, and they said people are going to pay $400 to $800, and they're going to pay for the app that's $75 or $400 anyway to analyze their toiletries. So there's cameras everywhere, and they caught the engine of the plane lit, spontaneous combustion, went on its side, plowed through 3 blocks of people that were working. So there was a car parts, of course the UPS, there was just a lot of businesses. I don't know, I don't live there, I don't know. What about stuff of like olden England? Is that because I'm an English major this stuff comes up on my thing? Married at 6 with a 29-year-old king. Oh my God. Do you know that they said one of the queens actually died in childbirth? She was only 13 years old and she was birthing and her hips were not fully developed. And for her to birth the baby, she was a bloody mess. You know, having babies back in the day, and not even that long ago, even my grandma, not that long ago for me, okay? Yeah, it was Russian roulette. You get pregnant, you can die in childbirth like that. So a lot of widowers. So that's where the promiscuity of men comes. They were widowers. They lost their wives and they had to walk away from the babies because they can't nurse the baby. They don't have milk. So they have to hand it to a nursemaid. The mother's died. The baby, let's say it survived, and it's being raised by a nursemaid and somebody else, and they just keep moving and find the next one because the one they loved died in childbirth. Happened all the time. What about the anesthesiologist? No, the atheist surgeon who has a Catholic conversion. That is cool. I pray the rosary. I have these are not my prayer beads. I do pray the rosary every week. It's amazing. It's amazing. But see, this came up in my algorithm, an atheist surgeon's Catholic conversions. Look, if I'm going to be on YouTube, I got to know the community. I got to know this. Cults and crimes. A teenager imprisoned by Satanists. Is that clickbait? I'm not doing clickbait. See, can I compete with this? Cults and crimes, teenager imprisoned by Satanists, a nightmare in suburbia. Oh my God, I'm getting winded. This is too much. What about the body expert people? Like this guy. This guy kind of does clickbait. What's his name? He's the behavioral arts. He goes on and he rattles off. His whole intro is amazing. And he rattles off. I have a commercial because I don't pay for YouTube. I'm going to be on YouTube. They're going to pay me. So look at this. Listen to him. He rattles off all his credentials in the very beginning. I'm not doing that. Oh my gosh. And he's talking about the hug that Erica Kirk gave to J.D. Vance. She was kind of, here he goes. Here he goes. He's going to rattle off. I'm not going to put, my speaker's not good, but this is how long he talks about himself.
My name is Spike, and I have my degree in sociology and psychology, my certifications in criminal interrogation and body language
See that?
analysis, and my experience
Look at that. He has certifications in body language and he's been on TV. I can't compete with that. How am I supposed to even get one? Oh my God, this is like a losing battle. Okay. Who else? Oh my God, the infamous Nancy Grace. My mother never liked her because she said she was too gung-ho about like that her energy is too, I guess some people feel like she exploits, because she's making money, she's monetizing off of these murders. But then on the other hand, she's a spitfire. Look at her face. I couldn't put that expression and have even 3 followers. And here she is with, let's go take a look at how many followers she has. She has 778,000 followers. She's going to be at 1 million soon. And you know what really jump-started her? Because she went out, remember she was on Headline, CNN Headline, the Nancy Grace? Then she went she lost her grace. And then she went back on YouTube. She only had she didn't have that many followers, but she got her desk and she set up outside of the Idaho murder's house in the cold Idaho weather with the backdrop of the house to talk about the crime obsessively. That got her a lot of followers. She really got a lot of momentum doing that, kind of like paying her dues again because she's already been out there. But Ashley Banfield, Brian Enton was on Banfield. Now Banfield's by herself. She's look at that expression. She's trying to show she's upset about what she's covering. And I know this is the authenticity we're talking about. Okay. Oh, look how cute. Since I pray the rosary, a priest came on. Saint Padre Pio's secretary remembers the saint, and this is the Archdiocese of Williamton. It has 179,000 followers. I will never have 179,000 followers, and I'm not even wearing brown. Gosh. Ooh. Gosh, when you saw his picture the first time, did you go, he totally did it? I don't care if he said he's innocent for the first 2.5, 3 years. He totally, like if you were to cast a murder of that magnitude, oh my God, that is the face. Like he cast himself. Oh, I'm getting seriously. I could pass out on YouTube. Would that get me more followers? Probably. I'm going to have to drink water and eat before I do my YouTube from here on. Anyway, I'm going through my YouTube because this is my introduction. You're trying to see. I'm on here. I'm not going to compete. Vinny Politan, the nice-looking Italian guy. If you're older like me. Vinny Politan. He's a nice-looking guy. But look at what he's saying. What's going on in Sheriff Stein's mind? He's trying to get into the mind of the guy that shot the judge in his office because he was having with the town people in lieu of lighter sentences. And he went in there and shot him in cold blood. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. How can I compete with that? Here's my friend, Kendall Ray. I like her so much. She's so mellow. She's in Colorado. I'm going to be in Palm Springs in a year or so. And we'll be not neighbors, but we'll both be on the west. And then I'll say, hey, if I run into her at the grocery store in Colorado, I say, can you check out my channel? And I'll say, I learned it from you, Kendall. Welcome to my channel. She has so many followers. And if you see the Mile Higher that she does with her husband, she has almost 4 million followers. Let's skip the ad. Oh my gosh. Look how pretty. That's her intro. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of True Crime with Kendall Ray. And if you're new to the show, then welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And make sure to click subscribe so you
See that? She didn't say welcome to my channel. She's amended that. She's grown. She's, oh my God, I'm getting lightheaded. This is getting me emotional. So what about, this is great. Boring. Do you know these? Boring history for sleep? Oh my goodness. How Henry VIII became England's most feared monarch. They call it boring history. It's not boring. It's just that you can fall asleep to it.
So tonight
See?
we're going to talk about Henry VIII, one of the most infamous kings in all of history. A guy who literally changed the entire
Oh my God.
just
He has 166,000 followers. It's called Sleepy Historian. And he's English, and if you're hard of hearing, you won't be able to understand him. Boring history for sleep. How did people sleep through the coldest Victorian winters? When we watch all those period pieces, we're not in it. We are not immersed. I am so sorry. There was no heat, no electricity, no refrigeration, no measles vaccines. I know that's controversial right now. No penicillin, no Band-Aids, no anesthesia, no grocery stores. People were foraging constantly for food. And do you know that the majority of the population in the times, just from the Wild West, starving. Think about it. I haven't eaten in 2.5, 3 hours. I'm starving. But I don't have to go outside in my yard and forage for snails and berries and myrtle and soak it in hot water. I just can drive through somewhere. I can use DoorDash. I can go to 1, 2, 3 grocery stores all around me. Gas stations. Anyway, you get it. I know you've thought about it. I'm not saying it's so insightful, okay? It's just stuff that you need to think about things. Ew! Would this help you sleep? Not me. The AIDS epidemic, the complete history of the AIDS epidemic, the 20th century plague, history for sleep. No, you lost me. How many followers do you have? Let's see, boring historian. He has 224,000 followers. Wow. So there you go. So that's some of the stuff that's on YouTube. So we are so segmented. We are so fractured. We are so niche, right? So when you see something on Instagram or on TikTok, I don't really go on there too much. It's kind of at a different pace. Or you go on YouTube and you try to share it with a friend. Bottom line, they don't always react the way you think they're going to react because we're not all on the same page. Something you think is really funny on Instagram, somebody else's, or just hits you a certain way. See, you're in bed, you're zoning out, you're taking some downtime, you're at work when you were looking at Instagram, you shouldn't be. There's a context to when you have your phone up in your face. That's a sticker of nail polish. I don't wear nail polish. Okay, I'll do the nails for the ASMR stuff, okay? Ooh, should I crunch on some chips? Anyway, isn't that weird, that ASMR stuff people are doing now? Sensory stuff? Anyway. So, when you go onto your YouTube and you're going to watch something, or Instagram, you're in kind of a certain very individualistic brainwave, and then certain things are going to hit you a certain way. Plus, you couple that with your algorithm, or lack thereof. You're going to pull up stuff that's not necessarily going to connect with your family, with your siblings, with your mom, your dad, your boyfriend. You're going to try, it's going to fall flat many times, and it's disappointing, but you get a thick skin, right? You get a thick cyber warrior skin, and you learn to say, to deal with the flat reaction to what you discovered that you thought was so hilarious at 3 in the morning when you couldn't sleep. It's not so funny to your niece or nephew, or they'll just send you back a little, and you don't know what they really thought of it. So anyway, so if I'm going to be on YouTube, you got to know a little bit about it. I know if you cat this and this came up in your algorithm, I would venture to guess you are a hardcore YouTuber. And I know I see people like this. They're in their room, they're by themselves, and they have like no followers. You're like, ooh. In fact, I judge what I'm gonna watch by. So, not a cat on a hot tin roof chance of gaining momentum out there. It's just not gonna happen. We're still gonna do it. How did people get to the moon? In ancient times, we saw it. But how many thousands of years? I'm not going to get into the conspiracy that we didn't really land on there. How many thousands of years before we finally landed on the moon and put the American flag? Come on. So since now there's stem cell and there's lots of longevity expected, and we can regrow organs and skin, I'm going to stick with it until I land on my own moon. Thank you for watching my channel, and we will be back. We're going to learn a lot about Kawaii Universe, a lot about the art business, a lot about what's going on in Miami, the world, growing up, before there were phones, before there were computers, watching old movies. Only thing that gets me about movies that I grew up watching is they never said, Ralph, your phone bill just came in the mail. I don't know. Meredith, I'm not going to be able to pay that. The factory doesn't pay me enough. Never talked about money woes. And that's all there is now is money woes. Got a government shutdown. We've got an amazing situation of world leaders that are playing 3-dimensional chess. Once you put it in that framework, you will see. Of course, you know that chess is just a metaphor for humans, and there are some humans, and I'm not going to name any names, but we know some major players out there that are playing 3-dimensional chess, and they're winning. Even if it's in their own mind has convinced and expanded to absorb other minds and make those moves. Okay, talk to you later. Stay tuned for the next one. This is my first video. I'm going to try to keep them at 15 minutes because who has more time than that? 15, 20 minutes, half hour. Kind of went over a little bit. It's okay. Talk to you soon. Signing off from Miami. I'm going to dip in and turn off that button like, what is it? Annie Elise and Kendall Ray. They go in, they go. Thank you for watching. See you soon.